Hi, welcome to your next tutorial. In this tutorial, we will make a small to-do app where the user can add tasks and delete them once he is done with them. To do so, we will create a blank project in Ionic, and in this app we will need two pages. So I have added another folder for the second page and called it add item. In that folder, I have added the two files additem.html and additem.js. If you may remember, we have done this in our previous tutorials. Now let's go to home.html. I have removed the ion card directive as we will not be needing that for this tutorial. For this tutorial, we will want the user to be displayed a list of tasks that he has created himself, and then the user will be able to swipe left to delete any of the tasks that he wants. The first thing we will do is change the name of our app to To-Do app. The second thing we want to do is, if we want the nav bar to be blue instead of gray like we have seen previously, we would add the word primary to it. Now let's serve up our app and see what we got. Okay, as we can see that our name of the app is To-Do app and we have a blue navigation bar instead of gray. Now you can try other colors too. If you look up the Ionic documentation, they tell you specifically what colors mean which words. Like for example, there is another word called danger, which will make the nav bar red. But let's keep our nav bar blue for this one. The second thing that we would want to do is to add a list that the user will be able to see for the tasks that he himself has created. To do that, we will need to add the directive called ion list, which we did in our previous tutorial. Now, for this tutorial, since we want the user to be able to swipe left and see action buttons that he can perform on every task, we would add another directive called ion-item-sliding. This allows the user to swipe left on any item that he wants. We would want to repeat this for every item that we have in the list. So we will use the AngularJS directive ng-for. And let's name our variable item and the array that we will be iterating over items. Now inside the list, we would want the user to see the name of the task that he has created. So let's add an ion-item directive for that. What this tells Ionic is this is one component in the list. Since we want the user to be able to see what he has created and we are iterating over the array of items and using the variable item, we would want to display the variable item here. Now let's create an array in our JavaScript file. As you can see that I have created an array and named it this.items equals to eat orange, eat apple, and eat banana. Now let's see what our app shows us. As you can see here that our app is now displaying all the items where it says eat orange, eat apple, eat banana. But when I swipe left, nothing happens. It's because we have not yet added an action button that the user can use to perform actions on it. To do so, let's go back to home.html, and right under the ion item, we would add ion item dash options and then close it. Now this tells Ionic that once the user swipes left, this is the section that I want to show the user. Now in this we can place a button. so that the user can see a button every time he swipes left. The word danger tells that I want my button to be red. The AngularJS directive click tells if the user clicks on this button what should happen. And we are passing our variable item, so once we code our function delete item, we will delete this particular item from the list. Another thing that we could do is place an icon to the left of our button. So let's use the icon directive to do so. We can use any icon we want. We can navigate to the Ionic website and then they have names of all the icons that we can use. So let's use the icon named trash. Now let's close the icon tag. Now what do we want the button to say? Let's say delete. And we can close the button. Now let's see what we got. As you can see now that when I swipe left, I see a button which says delete. That will be all for this tutorial. Now on the next tutorial, we will code our app and make it functional.